So a guy expresses interest in you. You don't share those same feelings for him. So what do?
Do you say, "Oh, thanks, sweetie," and then leave it at that? No.
Do you say, "Oh my gosh, you're so sweet, but I'm just not ready for a relationship right now"? Full well knowing that the reason why you're rejecting him is just because you're simply not sexually attracted to him, which is perfectly okay. No, you don't do that.
So you have a guy that expresses a love interest in you. And maybe in the past when you've turned guys down, they've gotten really angry and it's given you anxiety around rejecting somebody. Fair. There are a lot of men and women that go through that. So if you're not sure what to do, this is how guys actually want to be turned down.
There's a pretty big misconception with men that men just don't want to get rejected, so you have to be really rude, really tough with them because they just don't know how to take it elsewise. But the reality of it is that yes, even though there are some guys, and there are also women who lash out when they're rejected, the majority of guys know how to take rejection because it's something that they experience often. Now, is this a way to make you be like, "Oh my gosh, poor guys"? No, they're not looking for the sympathy even. What they want is to be treated like decent human beings. So that brings me to this. You want to know how to let a guy down, how to reject a guy's advance? This is how they want to be rejected. So to break this down to you, I'm going to use an example from my life that literally just happened to me about 20 minutes ago. So I have a Patreon, and one of my top tiers of my Patreon, people can talk to me every single day. So a lot of my Patreons, I know by first name, I know what they do for a living, I know about their families. I have men, women, trans men. There are a lot of different members of the community who are part of my Patreon. Sometimes when you talk to people every day and you get to know a lot about them and they know a lot about you, sometimes feelings can develop. So with one of my Patreons, he sent me a message tonight that made it clear to me that he had developed some feelings. And so I would like to obviously keep him private, but I'd like to share with you how that went. So my Patreon messaged me and he said, "I wish you were my girlfriend. Can we make it possible?" In which I replied, "No, I'm sorry. I appreciate your advance graciously. However, I am not interested." Here's the thing with human beings. We don't like it when other people beat around the bush. This is not a gender-specific thing. This is not a male brain, female brain, because we know that that doesn't even exist in the first place. We're all the same. So with that being said, everybody is human beings. What do we want from each other? We just want each other to be straightforward. And that is one thing that sometimes we forget to do with guys, because there can be a stigma around rejecting guys, whether it's because you don't want to hurt their feelings because you know that guys get rejected way more than girls do, whether it's because you have had a bad experience rejecting somebody in the past, which happens. So there seems to be this kind of awkwardness, and where a lot of people, instead of choosing the route to be straightforward with the guy, they choose the route of kind of beating around the bush, being like, "I'm just, I'm not ready for a relationship right now, but you're a great guy." And when you say anything other than "I'm just not interested," it often leaves a window or a door open in their mind in which they think that they do have a chance. And so when you're effectively leading somebody on, that makes you kind of a bad person. There are some people that are also very rude when they're rejecting somebody, which is something that I've seen. I've been rejected. I've seen guys be rude. I've seen girls be rude, and we just don't have to be rude. Listen, this isn't about, "Oh, I have to think about how I'm rejecting a guy because I don't want him to get mad. I don't want this." Listen, we are not entitled to anybody's feelings. We're not entitled to anybody's emotions. Just because somebody has feelings for us does not mean we're entitled to give it back. That's not real. But as human beings, we have kind of a responsibility to be nice to each other, to make sure that what we're being said is understood and not being reiterated in a way that could hurt their feelings or make them feel like crap. When rejecting a guy, it's just saying, "I'm not interested." Let's go back to the text. He replies with, "I know it's not possible being so far." In which I replied, "I'm not sexually attracted to you, so therefore it would not work, even if you were close." Now I know what you're thinking. "Oh my gosh, Roma, that was so harsh. You just told him you weren't sexually attracted to the dude." Yes, I did, because that's the truth. And let's look at his response. He goes, "That's so honest, thanks." In which I replied, "I apologize if that sounds harsh. However, I am here to support you, and I want to make sure that I'm honest with you 100%. So So when he said to me, I know it's not possible because I live so far, that showed me that in his mind, that time distance was the window. And I didn't want him to think in his mind that maybe if he closed that gap, maybe if he moved somewhere closer to me, that is what would make it happen. And so to avoid his mind even going that way, I just simply said, look, I'm not sexually attracted to you, and it just wouldn't. The truth is that him, along with 95% of other men, just appreciated the fact that there was some honesty there, that there was no, let me leave a door open, let me leave a glimmer of hope here. We have the responsibility to one another to just make sure that we're 100% transparent. There are a lot of women who will say, oh, well, we shouldn't have to be diligent when rejecting men because we shouldn't have to be fearful or mindful of their feelings. They're responsible for their own. That's true. We don't have a responsibility for somebody else's feelings. Like I said, it's about understanding that, yeah, guys get rejected a lot. And does that mean that as women, we have to hold some guilt, just like those radical men tell us that we're just privileged because we can have sex? Like, those are some gross ideologies, and that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you should be mindful because that is another human being with feelings. That's it. That is purely it. So there you have it. If you're not sure how to let a guy down or how to reject a guy, that is how to do it. You say, listen, thank you, I appreciate it. So acknowledging the courage that it took to be able to make an advance like that means a whole lot to somebody, and it helps let them down a whole lot nicer. And then you just say, flat out, not interested. You close all windows, and 95% of guys will just appreciate that. They appreciate when girls let them down nicely and just be straightforward about it. That's it. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video provided some help. If you liked it, if you agreed with it, please share it on your social media. Pick one, tag me, I will see it. I am constantly censored on social media, so please remember to follow me across platform. In the description below, I have linked all of my social medias. I unfortunately just lost my 9th TikTok account, but I do have a new one that is up and running. It is at maybe Chloe Roma. So I have linked everything below nonetheless. And if you're looking to get more of a personal inside look of my life, join my Patreon. You can find hundreds of unreleased videos, comedy skits, blogs. You have early access to YouTube videos, vlogs, podcasts, so much. And then if you get onto the top tier, that's where you can talk to me every single day, ask me any question you've wanted to ask me, and yeah, just really kind of become integrated with my life. So with that being said, I hope you guys had a good day. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please be kind to each other, and let's stop the gender divide together. No more misogyny, no more misandry. Let's just end it, and can we just live in a little bit of peace? Men are more than dicks and piggy banks. Thank you.